Happy New Year and welcome to the first official live stream of 2025. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. Shout out to the NTZ crew. Get them wrenches ready for another 365. Shout out to all my fourth quarter members. What's up, Jeffrey Taddy? Say good morning, Cal. Shout out to the community. That's Jacob J. What's up, Michael? All my old heads. I love LaChon. What's going on? What's up, Jim Crane? He's been over here a couple of times. And to my house a couple of times. He's a good guy down there in Florida. Happy New Year, man. Any new viewers and subscribers joining us today? What's up? What's up, Matt? Welcome. Anybody catching this on replay? The peso is the same as the last time I was on here, 57.82. I won't complain about that. That's that's a great rate for real. What's up, 2019? You know, what's on the minds of everybody today is these terrorist attacks. They're calling them terrorist attacks in New Orleans, and now that Cybertruck exploded in Las Vegas. They saying that both of the vehicles were rented off that Turo app. It's like the Airbnb of car rentals now. But the death toll in New Orleans is 15, man. It's so bad they canceled that Sugar Bowl game today, which I don't blame them. But, they calling it a terrorist attack. And I'm going to tell you, man, as Americans, we let our guards down. We're too distracted over there. So it's going to be easy to pull off one of those attacks. But here's the thing that I have a problem with those guys. Why are you killing innocent people if it's the government that you have a problem with? These people are innocent. That's the problem, man, that I have with those terrorist attacks and stuff like that. Yeah, he said Elon's truck blowing up at Trump's hotels. Wow. I believe that's not a coincidence. Yeah, we live in a violent society over there, but I saw the writing on the wall. It's been violent. It's not just something that happened. The roots of America are in violence. Okay? You don't think the Aborigines, the natives, when they came over to what's considered America today, you don't think there was strawberries and cream for them. They slaughtered them people. What did they say? 97%? Eliminated 97% of them. Yeah, they're cowards, man. They're the trolls in real life. But yeah, it's a lot of innocent people dying, man, unnecessarily. And I don't agree with that. It's not going to change anything. They're not going to win because the people who are making all these effed up decisions that deform our foreign policy and whatever it is, the domestic policy, whatever it is they're upset with, they're protected. So they're never going to negotiate with terrorists or anything like that. What's up, Sam McCall? But yeah, I hate to hear that, man. It's just like every day is something. People want to wonder, well, when are you going back home, man? I don't know, man. I really don't know. But yeah, that truck blowing up. That's in your hometown, Kaz, Las Vegas. But you know, the Israeli embassy, they warned their citizens over in Thailand to be on the lookout that they had credible information about a terrorist attack over there. But people don't care, man. They're just running out of them bars over there and, you know, massage parlors. They don't have their head on the swivel. I promise you, they don't. Because you never hear anybody talking about it over there. It's all party. You know, you just because you ignore it doesn't mean it's not a credible threat. I would be telling my viewers and subscribers if that came on the news over here and say, hey, you know, there's a credible threat in Manila or whatever it is, I'm going to tell them. They told the Israeli citizens, look, we received some information and it's credible of a terrorist attack. The terrorists, they always hit places where people least expect it. Them party goers in Thailand, they're not expecting it. Just like over in Bali, remember, was that 2002 when that bomb went off? They wasn't expecting it. They're in the club partying. Half the people that died that night, may they rest in peace, they were drunk. They were having a good time. They were on a holiday. What's up, Ajima? But it's a damn shame, man, that you can't even celebrate New Year's without some clown want to build his legacy off the backs of innocent people. Now they claim that they saw some more. He wasn't alone. That they saw 3 men and a woman planting IEDs around New Orleans. Now, how credible is that? I don't know. But we're in the middle. We're stuck in the middle. So now the government's going to clamp down. It'll be some more legislation passed that's going to restrict your movement even more than it's already restricted. But we're so stupid in America, we don't know that they restricted our movement over there. That Patriot Act, man, it really restricted your movement. You don't know anything about it because you don't care. All you worry about is, oh, Ohio State beat Oregon today. Man, y'all better wake up over there, man, before it's too late. Yeah, I talk about the threats over here. But I mean, that was front page news in the Bangkok Post on 68 DVR. But you don't see them guys over there saying anything about it. I'm way over here in the Philippines talking about, hey, man, it's a credible terrorist threat over in Thailand. But it makes sense to me because they always hit these party places full of infidels. That's what they call us. Infidels who are not paying any attention. Yeah, it's going to be more government control. It's almost like they working in cahoots because the people, we're stuck in the middle of the terrorists and the government. You know, they're both terrorists, really, as far as we're concerned. They're both terrorists. It's going to be more legislation. They're already trying to take your guns pretty soon. They're going to outlaw cars. You can only drive a certain time of the day and all that stuff. And it sounds crazy, but you would have never thought before 9/11 that they would basically delete your Fourth and Fifth Amendment. It's really, you don't have that anymore. But that's a damn way to start the new year, man. We need to start it off with some good news, man. It's very good. It's very little good news that you're going to hear about coming from that matrix. That's another way to keep you in place. He said we'll have to drive rubber or breakaway cars. All this stuff sounds crazy, but when you look up, it's going to be reality. I remember I was living in Cincinnati, and I was telling the guy, I read a good article about the DVD replacing, the albums and records, and at the time, man, that sounded crazy. Sounded like I was worried. I don't even know if you can even buy DVDs anymore. They've been replaced. Remember they were talking about you would no longer need your phone in your house anymore. People thought that was crazy futuristic talk. Like, man, that'll never happen in my lifetime. We need that landline. Man, we got a landline in there because I'm in the Philippines and it goes with the Wi-Fi plan. But I promise you, I probably used that one time since we've had it. But most people don't have that landline. It's gone. He said, land of the free, by the way. But we're really not as free as we think we are. When they tracking your every damn move, even you go to the grocery store, you thinking, oh, Kroger's is giving me points. They're tracking your spending habits and everything. That's what their card is for. They're not doing you a favor. It takes people a long time to really understand what's going on, man. The ulterior motives behind this stuff. And that's why, I like a place like the Philippines. That's so far behind, you know, the, the, the only thing you got to worry about tracking you is them damn CCTVs over here. That's about it. Other than that, man, they don't have the technology. Yeah, Rashad, he said, Unc, I understand the triangle of death, man. He said, life is short. We too busy judging pockets and penises. Yeah, don't let the haters win. We're too distracted over there, man. Is it any coincidence that they struck New Orleans and Las Vegas, man? Okay, that's not a coincidence. Just like it wasn't a coincidence that they struck uh, New York City in 9/11. But people aren't paying attention. These are places where these holiday goers are. Nobody's paying attention. Everybody's partying and gambling and everything. Yeah, they're pocket watching, dick watching. This is 2025, man. It's time to get all that foolishness, man. I don't care what you're doing, really. If I can help you, I will. But I don't care where you stick in your dingaling and how much money you got. He said they already know when, how far, how fast, and how often you drive. Your car reports to data brokers, like LexisNexis, who then report it to your insurance company. That's why your rates jump up. And hell, if were born with this color skin, cause in this day and age, you don't have to do all of that. They go by your zip code. They've been doing that, man. They've been doing that for a long time. Your zip code in America determines how much your car insurance is going to cost you. Now, I'm just telling you facts. He said the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tonight. Oh, is it? Wow. The ABC, Calvin's live stream. That's funny. Chris said, Cal, your phone tracks everything. Everything. You used to remove the battery. Now it's sealed so they can track you when it's off. Even in the Philippines, it works. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying the government over here is really, the Philippine government is not doing that. If they are, they're in cahoots with one of these matrix companies. But hell, they only got CCTVs over here. Yeah, hit the like button. What's up, boss? He said, good morning, Cal. He said, Happy New Year, everyone, and sending my condolences to the families in New Orleans and Vegas. Did somebody die in Vegas? I wasn't sure. But it's no coincidence that they hit them two party places. But we worrying about stupid stuff. I saw where that so many videos now about Geo and Maya. Man, y'all need to let that go, man. Why y'all worried about that? I saw where they made a video. Now everybody's talking about it, reacting to it like, what's so important about that? It happens all the time over here. And while we're talking about that, I was watching Philippine antics today. And, it's another case of some old crusty ass man thinking some young, attractive Filipino really loves him. So she done took money from him. He gave her money, really. Now he's on Robbie Tufo trying to get it back. But the Philippines has passed what they're calling an anti-financial scamming act because it's happening so much over here. But y'all think I just be on here yapping. I'm telling y'all, man, that it's happening on just a unbelievable scale over here, more than I've ever seen it. But now they passed this anti-financial scamming act. But the problem is, you gotta file the charges first. Most men who are giving away their money and stuff like that, they're too embarrassed to report it. It's always been a crime, but good luck trying to prosecute it when men won't come forward. But here it is, again, another one. It's as if we're not on here telling you, man, these women don't really love you. It's only about your money. This guy had to be 70 plus. The woman looks like she's 20 plus to maybe 22 or 23. I think he said, the second year of nursing school. But he's trying to take up for it. I think he's saying the family forcing her to do it or whatever it is. But y'all better start listening up, man. Y'all don't listen to bloggers. It's all entertainment. That stuff shouldn't be happening anymore. I mean, if you give your money away and all of that, girlie, and you're really trying to help somebody and all that, you've been together for a while, you got an established relationship, okay? Even if she don't really love you, at least the relationship is established. This is what the embassy wants. They want proof of an established relationship before they'll even take a look at the visa application. Well, don't you think you should do that too before you start buying houses and lots and sending 20,000? I don't know what he sent. It must have been a lot. You don't go on Robbie Tufo unless there's a lot of money involved. But make sure that the relationship is established. But once again, you got these guys, they're in a delusion. I'm telling you right now, we're in a damn delusion. A delusion, an illusion, and a lie is the same thing. If you think these young women really want you, you're Mr. Nobody. He was a Mr. Nobody. Look at him. Go on there. Go on Philippine Antics, and it'll show you, and then go on Robbie Tufo. This guy was a Mr. Nobody. Nobody wanted him over there. Nobody was calling his phone. So he goes on a dating site and meets this girl. And here's another thing that I learned watching that live stream. Because people talk about Philippine Antics, right? But it's really one of the only live streams I can watch. They got their own style. It's two people, and it's really like I don't know, I guess it's like a gossip thing, but they got a lot of good information. The lawyer on Robbie Tufo said these Filipino men are getting involved now, not in the way you think. They're the ones behind a lot of these women profiles on these dating sites. Okay? They're the ones who are instigating these conversations and having you send money and stuff. They were going to find a way to get paid because They don't have a site that they can go on where Western women are just throwing money at them. So they said, well, hell, I might as well pretend to be a damn woman and get some money. But this anti-financial scamming act, it's going to get a few people, but most people are going to fall through the cracks because y'all aren't going to report it. You're too ashamed. But it's a damn shame that that kind of stuff is going on, man. It's too much information out here. He said it is crazy in the USA, but do your best to keep a positive mindset. Oh, okay. The driver died in Vegas. There was people injured, I'm pretty sure. But you see what Elon Musk did? He hurried up and came on there and cleaned it up. It's not the truck. How you know? How you know that so fast, man? How you get that information so fast that you can come on there and say, "Oh, it wasn't the truck. It was a bomb planted in there." Man, you guys, man, y'all better start waking up and listening, man. He said the U.S. government basically runs the Philippines. Well, the technology isn't over here because I mean I can't tell. Okay, with the infrastructure and everything that's lacking over here, if they are basically running the Philippines, they're doing a pitiful job. Okay, I'm just telling you. What's up, W Secret to Success? Now this is his business. He knows what he's talking about. He said just wrap the cell phone in foil paper and turn it off. You can move in silence. Yeah, until you use it again, we can't stop using the damn phone. You're gonna be unwrapping the damn thing every 5 minutes. Cause you gotta check your email, they can check the dating site. What's the score on the game? Man, we're addicted to that damn cell phone, guys. They got us. They got us. With that cell phone, you ain't gonna wrap shit up. You won't even wrap your damn dick up when you come over here. He says, all you need is a Faraday case for your phone. Yeah, but we're on it 24/7. I would say without knowing, but I would just say for sure, because YouTube sends me the analytics that most of the people watching me, they're watching it on their phone. It's not on their television. Yeah, another one. I love the time. Imagine it's 2024. I've been on YouTube 4 years. People have been on YouTube far before me, long before me, I mean. And they're telling you about, these dating sites and the women asking for money and all this and all that. And it's still happening. It's still happening. He said they're even arguing about Eve, taking a fine holiday photo with her husband's British family. It's unreal the, the pettiness that we stoop to over there. It's just, we're the laughing stock of the planet, really. All they've got over there is money. That's all. He said cow eggs here in California in some places are $8 to $10 a dozen. I gotta believe it, man. I gotta believe it because we buy it in the tray now. Because a lot of times, man, when you go to these grocery stores, the eggs are old. And I was shocked. We bought some from the grocery store here, just a regular dozen. It's 100, I think it's 142 pesos now. Almost $3. But when we got home and Lola broke it open, man, it stunk the whole house up. But the stamp on there says it was valid. So we get it in the it's 300. What is it? How much is it? 300? Honey, how much is a tray of eggs? Maryland, she's got that damn phone. How much is a tray of eggs? Well, where she gets is 280. Where I get it is 300. And I think it's how many eggs is that? 30. You get 30 eggs. Yeah, he said, look, what's love got to do with it? But it's going to keep happening. You know, remember I told you today on my video that I did, and we'll get to that in a minute. Vloggers are stuck between a rock and a hard place. We can't win. We can't win. They're telling you, we're telling you, don't send these women money like that. But they're not listening. But then they'll say, oh, you're not telling us everything. We're telling you the important stuff. What's more important than your damn money over here? Hey, James Beatty, thanks for that super sticker. We don't get no credit. People come over and say, oh, you didn't tell us that, man. Every blogger worth their damn profile name has done told you, don't send money over here to these women. But you're Mr. Nobody, so you say, oh, I'm different. She really loves me. I mean, this guy is a crusty old man. That's why I say crusty. Hair all over the place. His skin is dead. You know, he's done. He's cooked. That's what they say. He's cooked. Well, you know, but to be honest, he says leading with the wallet is a fool's game. But, okay, in some cases, you got to lead with the wallet, but not like that. If you're sending enough money where you're on Robbie Tufo, dude, you are food. But in some cases, that's all they got to lead with. Do you really think, Past Hunter, that a 70-year-old man, what else does he have to offer a 25-year-old woman? Because that's what we're dealing with over here. It's some creepy stuff going over here. I'm not judged. I'm just telling you. Once you get boots on the ground and you over here long enough for the dust to settle, and you can look around, you're gonna say, man, only then will the stuff we talk about make sense. These are 70-year-old men with 25, 30-year-old women. So what is he going to lead with then? Okay? Yeah, it's not even the bloggers, Thomas. He said, how many times do bloggers have to tell guys not to send money? But these guys are making every mistake in the book as if bloggers don't even exist, as if these expat groups don't exist on Facebook and all that, Reddit and all that. They're acting like they've never heard this information before. Like the Philippines is something new. Yeah, the damn architect bros. That's who runs the Philippines, dude. Not the damn government. But for anybody who says, oh, don't leave with your wallet, not that way, man. But you got it. That's the only way you're gonna get in there. Okay. Remember, they got everything else over here but money. They got love and family. They got friends, man. This is the type of society that the Philippines is. It's like a community-based society. They spend their money with each other. I don't know who's behind the scenes, but when you go to the market, there's nothing but Filipino vendors there. And all these stores around here, they spend money with each other, but they don't have any money. So that's what they need. And I just did a video. Money's going to determine your value over here. So, you know, anybody that says, oh, don't leave with your wallet. Not in that way, but yeah, you're going to have to leave with your wallet, man. Come on. It's an unspoken agreement. It's an unspoken agreement. You're going to pay all the bills. You're going to take care of me and I'm going to take care of you. It's that simple. But these guys, I mean, so how are you getting with these young women, Pat Hunter, if you're not giving money, okay? Because, okay, he says, okay, it's okay to be transactional. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, so expats bring money, so it's all transactional. Absolutely, 100%. If you want the yummy six over here, okay, if you want to tune up with a free oil change and lube job, man, you got to do something. That's what you're bringing to the table. See, people think when I say stuff like that I'm talking crazy because you've never been over here. You never see the men who are showing up over here, who are trying to date, even if, they're dating a 40-year-old woman. Have you seen some of these guys? Okay, myself included. I'm just saying, if you think I'm bad looking, I mean, you ain't seen nothing over here, dude. Okay, you better bring some money, but you don't have to be a fool. You don't have to give it all away. But that's how you get your foot in the door. This is an old story, man. But people act like they never heard it before. Here's a man, it's January the 2nd over here. This fool is on Robbie Tufo. He's not even a victim, man. There's no victims over here, man. I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for you because there's no victims. You know exactly what you're doing, and the woman knows what she's doing. Hey, Marriages Teller, it's always on topic. Great videos. Thank you. He said, yeah, some guys are lonely and looking for companionship. Some guys are getting desperate. And that's okay, man. They're Mr. Nobody. That's why I called it that. Nobody's calling their phone. Nobody's coming by checking on them. Nobody cares. But if you want to send a little money over here, don't send enough money, retired 2019, where they put your ass on Rafi Tufo. That's national television over here. He's the biggest vlogger over here. He probably gets more views than these regular television shows over here. I mean, you effed up, okay, when you end up on his show. The last American I saw on there, he had borrowed money to give the woman 2 million pesos. And then Robbie Tufo asked him, well, what do you want? You want it back? Well, I don't want it back because I know she don't have any money to give it back. Okay, so why are you on Robbie Tufo then? He said, they already think we're rich. Come with a smarter approach, but you know that you're doing the same thing home or at home. You know, it's real simple, okay? We are rich relative to them. Okay, even if you're only earning 1,000, if your pension, if your Social Security is $1,000 per month, Thomas, with the exchange rate being what it is, 57.82. That's 57,820 pesos. And they can't dream of having that kind of money over and over and over and over every month. So you are rich. That's the only reason they let you in to begin with. It's okay for them to think that you're rich. The problem is you better not convince yourself that you're rich. See, that's the problem. We start thinking we're rich. You know you're not rich. Them thinking you're rich, that's a good thing. Doors are going to open. You're going to have access to people that you normally wouldn't have access to. But if you don't think 57,820 pesos every single month, man, they would be rich. The average Filipino that I deal with, that I'm around, so I live around the locals. I've always lived around the locals. That's how you learn the culture and everything. That's a lot of money. My woman told y'all a long time ago, when a Filipino, average Filipino, has 10,000 pesos in their hand at one time, not a paycheck, because some of them get paid that and more, but free and clear. It's mine. I can do it wherever I want to do it. I don't have any bills. That's a tremendous amount of money. But y'all not listening because y'all sending over here just unbelievable amounts of money because you don't know the culture. You're not trying to know it. You won't listen to people. Yeah, he said, I guess they rely on a good look. Yeah, it would be nice, Frank, if we could get by on that. You can't get by on that. Okay. And the guy said it on my last live stream. He said, look, man, the Philippines is what it is. And the sooner you come to that understanding, the better off you're going to be over there. I couldn't have said any better, even though that's what I've been saying for 4 years. It's a game being played. Just play the damn game, man, and enjoy your life. Okay? Because they're playing the same. Thomas just said, they're playing that game at home. It's just going to cost you more. It's the same game. You might as well play it over here. You might as well play it over here. He said the men that send money beforehand and have not touched the woman, they should see as sending cash in the mail. It's almost as good as lost. They should not cry when the money is lost. Yeah, this is what we're telling them, Roger. We're saying, okay, like my buddy Harry showed us, he'll send a woman, he'll send a woman $10 to $15 for a load. Well, okay, if you lose that, big deal. He's not sending 10 and 15,000. And this is what we're doing. We got the exchange rate going up in our head. We're saying, okay, 10,000, that's only $178. Big deal. No, that's 10,000 pesos over here. That's a whole month's salary. If she's got a job, a decent job, which most of the women on those dating sites don't have decent jobs. That's their job. They're hoping that I can, corral some man in here and he'll start sending me money. That's the best part-time job you can have over here. There's no job that pays better than that. It pays a lot of money. But the point is, we're not listening. We act like nobody's on here saying that stuff. Yeah, Rafi Tufo, he's the biggest YouTuber over here by far. I mean, there's nobody even comes close to him. Yeah, he's probably one of the biggest, but because he's over here in the Philippines, if he had those same numbers and Western people were watching him, he'd be in that top 10. But he's not. Most of his viewers are in the Philippines, and you need 15 Filipino viewers for every American viewer to get the same amount of money. So that's why, I'm pretty sure he's a millionaire off YouTube. I'm pretty sure he's earning probably a million or so a year. But he's big. He's huge. The only good thing about going on Rafi Tufo is you're going to end up with another woman because these women are smart. Their antennas are going to go up. They're going to say, hell, look at all that money he sent you. You messed it up. A lot of times they're mad at the woman. They're like, I've been on that dating site for years and can't get anybody's attention. You get a man that sends you $2 million. The American did. Then he's going to cry on the damn TV show. You sound stupid. Nobody feels sorry for you. Hey, thank you, Blizzard Abroad. Thanks for that super chat, man. He says, salute, brother Cal. Here's the spitting facts all of 2025. Yeah, man, let's do it. I saw that video I watched, your last video, I think you said the manosphere. You said Travis Hunter is the type of guy the manosphere should be taken up for, but they're bashing him. We talked a little bit about that. He's young, man. They're not going to get through to him. Nobody's going to get through to him. He's whipped. The girl got him whipped. She, to her credit, she saw his potential a long time ago. Okay. Somebody put her on to him like this guy is going someplace. But other women, they want that finished product. Well, I look at him, he's ugly. They said he looked like what did the guy say he looked like on here? uh, predator and all of that. See, that's what they'll do. They'll talk about him. No, I don't want him. But then now he's already a millionaire. He's getting ready to be a mega millionaire now. He says, I might have to subscribe to Rafi 24. I never watched his videos before. They're interesting. He's like a Jerry Springer type, but in a Filipino way. Filipinos are more conservative. Sometimes the people on there screaming and hollering at each other, but most of the time they're not. But that's really what he is, like a what would they be considered? Like a mediator or something. But he's got some crazy stories on that you wouldn't believe. People are so damn retarded. That's what we are as a men. Hey, Wesley brings honor. Thanks for that super sticker. But then when I make a video asking the question, are you a sex addict? Nobody watches it. Okay? Because that's the only reason you do stuff like that. Okay? You want some sex. Okay? You want some sex. There ain't no way I'm gonna spend $2 million like this right off the top. You can't taste. You gotta have the taste, touch, and smell test. Okay? If you can't taste it, touch it, and smell, it's not real. You shouldn't be sending account money over here. He says her brother put her on to him because she didn't like him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they got this anti-financial scamming act. It's not gonna help. It'll snarl a few people, but that's gonna be hard to prove when we're willingly giving them the money. It's not like they're not scamming in the true word of scamming. Scamming is unbeknownst to you. Like if I take my debit card and go to the ATM machine and they scam the damn thing, that's a scam, in my humble opinion. These women are simply telling lies, asking you for money. And in your, haste to be this Superman, you go overboard. It's always somebody in the hospital or somebody died. It's never, for my college tuition. They only know that lie because it's like, remember I told you that they're so naive. They really think we're going to fall for this stuff. My buddy over here now, he's over here now. The woman, okay, stayed all night. They had the freak off and everything. Well, she gets up the next morning. I need $18.50. He's like, well, what taxi? I mean, costs $18.50 off of my mother's dialysis. So he said I gave her $2,000 because I know what's going on, Cal. So later, soon as she get home, oh, my mother died. Now we need money to bury. See, they think that we really believe that stuff because they're very naive, man. But you would think they would come up with something else. Oh, my baby is sick. I need milk and diapers. And we fall for it. We fall for it. Hey, Greg, thanks for the super chat. He said, I guess I can just send Cal a couple of bucks now, and then at least he won't be trying to meet me at the airport. I'm not going to meet you. Thank you, brother. But no, I'm not going to meet you. But it's okay to do that, Greg. Okay, y'all heard me talk about this before. If I'm going to send some money like that, it's going to be for her to get to the airport to meet me. Because a lot of times you come into Manila, she may live in San Carlos City. Well, she got to go to Bacala, catch the plane to Manila. You got to buy the plane ticket, the bus fare, something to eat. But if she doesn't show up, then that's all the money you're out of. You're not on Ralphie 24 for that. Yeah, we're falling for it hook, line, and sinker, Frank. Every single time. I mean, uh, it's really mind blowing to me. Here we are in 2025 now. I was going to say 2024. And this is still happening. There's no way this should be happening. This shit was happening, man, back in the 70s until now. Crazy. He says a person who commits fraud or participates in a dishonest scheme, scammers are preying on people's good intentions. Yeah, but see, it's going to be hard, though, for them to say it's a crime if they've got the text messages, Jay Henry, where she's just simply asking him for the money, and he said, okay, I'll send it to you. See, this is all I'm saying, Alvin. He said that little bit of money is still a lot for them. But we go overboard. You're defeating the purpose of coming to the Philippines. If you come over here and pay $1,000 for your rent, you're defeating the purpose. You might as well stay home. I could get a nice place in Louisville, Kentucky for $1,000 per month. Okay, it's the same with the woman. Okay, if I'm going to trick these astronomical numbers, I might as well stay in the West. At least I can go back to work and make up the money I'm spending. Y'all coming over here, man. I'm telling you now, okay, Maryland got a sister. A guy was giving her 50,000 pesos per month. That's like you giving a woman in America $50,000 per month. She don't have 2 pesos to rub together. They're not used to that kind of money. But to him, that was nothing to him. But yeah, we giving away all this money, man. It's not doing any good. It's not doing them any good. But yeah, you're right. He said, it'll never stop, Brother Cal. I believe you. It's happening more, though, and more money involved. That's what concerns me. You know, men we're gonna send money, okay, because we want to look good. We want to impress the woman. Okay, she's so much younger than us. She's so attractive. You know, we want to put in reserve. We want to put on layaway. Okay, I get that, but man, we're going just way out there, man. We're way out there. Hey, Bill, Happy New Year. He said, Happy New Year, Cal, and your crew. Thank you. Yeah, he said maybe they need the attention of a woman. Right. Because nobody's paying attention to them over there. But remember, the guy says, Al Hebron, he just said it. It don't take that much money, though. You know, if you're going to, because the guy was on here, he said, hey, how much you think is a good um, allowance for my wife? He's got an 18-year-old wife. Dude, give her 5,000 a month. And if she complains about that, throw her back. Okay, because she's not earning 5,000 a month at 18 years old. But knowing him, he's going to give her 25,000, and she's going to waste it all. She's going to waste it all. He said, I got to remember to select 25. Yeah, instead of 24 on everything now. It takes a while. Me too. The first time I went to the bank last year, they called me on my phone. I had to go back to the bank. The woman didn't recognize it, and neither did me. I had 2023. I should have put 2024 on the withdrawal slip. I had to go all the way back to the bank. He said, some of these women are swindling. That's a stop over here, and it's against the law. Yeah, they just pay. Okay, if that's the case, then why did they need to pass this anti-financial scamming act? Okay, swindling would be like the guy who was on Rocky Tufo, an American, and he went in with, I guess it was his wife, and bought the land and different things like that. But she was already married or something. See, that was swindling. She swindled him out of his money. Then she ended up selling the land. See, that would be a stopper. But if the woman asks you for some money, cause to get her mother out of the hospital, and you send it to her, that's not a stopper. She lied. A stopper would be like, they got a lot of these old Ponzi schemes going on over in the Philippines. So be on the lookout for that. It's too good to be true. It is, it's too good to be true. Don't fall for that. But over here, a lot of people fall for that. Oh, okay, give us 10,000. We're gonna give you 15,000 back, and they never get their money back. What's up, Cisco? He said, the nicer you are to these women online, the more they think they got your nose open. After that, here comes the sob story. Yeah, the first time it's going to be a sob story. They may hit you. They may see if they can get some money out of you. Okay, I need money for a load or whatever. My phone, I'm using the phone. A good one is I'm using the phone of my neighbor. That's why you haven't seen me online, because I got to use her phone. So now she's asking you for a phone. And then after that, here it comes. But if you're over here, if you go on and get over here, you can cut all that out. See, they're not going to be able to pull that foolishness on you over here. If you're going to get on the dating sites, the best time is to get over here. Okay, meet me at Ayala then. Now you don't have to pay for the airline ticket and all that. You're already here. Okay, and then you say, okay, my mother's in the hospital. Okay, well, let's go to the hospital. I want to, give my condolences to your mother. But we're trying to have these long distance relationships. There's a guy, I consider him a friend. He's been to the Philippines before. And on WhatsApp today, and he's back in the UK. And I said, hey, how's your love life? He said, the woman he was with, because I chatted with him. She's here, he's here. She's married. He found out she's married. See? And now he said these LDRs are, they're difficult, especially when the woman's married. And I'm like, dude, I already told you that. It's not even a long distance relationship. It's a long, 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 long distance relationship. You're 8,000 miles away. It's not like you live in Cebu and she lives in Manila. You live on the other side of the planet. You can't call that a long distance relationship. But we'll make this crazy stuff normal. There's nothing normal about that. We'll normalize a whole lot of stuff and justify a whole lot of stuff when it comes to these relationships, man. LDR is one of them. Sending money is another one. He said 50,000 pesos. Yeah, that's way too much. But when he was sending it to her, it was 1,000 US, because the peso wasn't that high. It was around 50. It was before the Philippines opened up. Okay. On top of all the other stuff he was doing, it's his money. But I'm saying that we're sending too much. We don't have to do that under no circumstances. Establish the relationship. See what type of woman she is that you're dealing with. But see, over here though, Greg, you don't really need a whole lot. You don't need a whole lot. But the fact of it is, your value is determined by your money. You can't come over here. Even I always use the 70, but if you're 55 and you want to date a 25-year-old woman, man, you got to have some money. Okay? Why in the world would a 55-year-old, would a 25-year-old woman want to do with you just on a level playing field? When all you do, you're just a nice guy. You got a good personality and all of that. Oh, you're good looking. It don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. But we've convinced ourselves that it does. We've convinced ourselves that women want us for who we are over here. That's wrong, man. And anybody telling you that is lying to you. You see these guys on these motorcycles going around these different places. See the regular guy, he's making y'all. He's making y'all think that he's not paying. We're all paying. Okay, I'm sorry, but they'll make you think, oh, I'm not paying these girls. You're paying. Okay, they're with you either thinking you're rich, thinking they're gonna get some money out of you, thinking they're gonna get that visa. That's the reason they with you. Why in the world would they get with you? Her all over the place when they got a Filipino man over here the same age, a lot younger than you, a lot better looking, has everything in common with the young lady. But they fool themselves and they fool y'all. I'm not picking on regular guy. But guys like him and others, they want y'all to think that these women, they're going all around the Philippines getting with these women. It's not costing them anything. I'm telling you that it is. He said, this is so true. I gave my son's mother over 2 million pesos in 2 years, and she doesn't have nothing. And I'm trying not to get mad at her because they're going to spend it all. It's like giving you $2 million that you never had that kind of money before. You're going to go out and buy something stupid. Some 29-inch gold rims. You know how people do. All this jewelry people buy. And you say to yourself, man, you as older men, we sit back and we watch this stuff. And it's like, man, are you stupid? That jewelry's not worth half what you paid for it. But because they got the money, they do all that stuff. All these cars and just, these watches. And now it's the watches now. You see people like Floyd Mayweather, he's got on like a $20 million watch. That's the type of stuff we'll do with money. And that's what they do with that kind of money. They buy some stupid stuff, man. He said, now the woman money baseline will keep rising and never go down. Well, it's not going to rise. Have they become more entitled? Absolutely. Because they see what Miss Little Maria's got next door. They see, yeah, look what the motorcycle and everything. He's taking care of her 2 kids. Yeah, their expectations are higher because we don't talk amongst ourselves. When men come over here, IT consultant, they go their own way. They don't try to check in and say, hey, man, what's going on? And, I'm headed over here to Lady, man. You know anything about Lady and everything like that? No, we come over here, we get real quiet. It's like we're stealth. It's like we're some type of secret agents over here. And the only time you see them again is when they got a problem. Well, it's too late. Yeah, put on layaway. Well, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. What's up, 53 Shades Darker? They're putting her on reserve. They're saying, look, they don't realize the woman's on 5 or 6 different dating sites. You're only on one because that's all you can afford. You can't afford to be on these dating sites, man. $30 a month for crack. You on one. Okay, you found her. Okay, look, since we're together, we're committed. You close your account, I'm gonna close mine. She still got 5 accounts open. And so you're sending her money. You're trying to shut her down so she won't talk to anybody else. But they're not shutting down. They're not turning down that money because she doesn't even know if you're really coming. So why is she gonna stop the next pet over here from sending, 10, 15,000 a month when you haven't even made it over here yet? You still operating on promises. They're wasting it. They're partying with it. Okay, I can only tell you what Maryland's sister was doing during the pandemic. Every night is a party. I'm talking about, man, they put it on Facebook, beer bottles everywhere. I'm talking about, man, cases of quarts. every single night. You know, at that time they had that old bullshit cryptocurrency game going on over here. I can't think the name of it. Investing in that and losing all of that. They're loaning money, you know, buying stuff that's not even that's worthless. You know, they might buy a piece of land that goes at a slope like this because they never owned anything like that. It's the same as you see the celebrities in America, the guys who come from nothing, they get all that money, these athletes and stuff. They start buying all this stupid stuff. I was watching something. The guy paid. Look how much he paid for a pair of damn Nikes. I'm talking about thousands of dollars. I'm like, man, there's no pair of Nikes worth that. You can't jump any higher. That's what they're doing with it. They're throwing it away. They're wasting it. They're basically giving it away. He said, if you're willing to give, you didn't get scammed. Yeah, they're just lying about it. But if you think I'm going to send a woman that I've never met before the kind of money that would get me on Roppy twofold, man, you don't know me. First of all, I'm not going to chat with them. The longest I've ever chatted is 2 weeks. I'm already over here. I'm already in the guts, man. You're not going to fool me around. Either you're going to shit or get off the pot. You're not going to keep on sitting there chatting with me over and over for weeks and months and years. Y'all crazy, but y'all do that. Sending all that money over there. Then you get over here and you don't even meet the girl. Or it doesn't work out or something like that. No. I did a video a long time ago. That's the number one mistake we make when we chat with women online. We chat them too long. You're not going to know any more in 1 year than you are in 1 week because they're not going to tell you anything. Their number one motive is to get you over here. If you don't come over here, you really don't have anything coming. Okay, send me money. Keep on sending it. It's first come, first serve. He said, Brother Cal, you still planning on building those small houses? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just that her brother, who is going to be our contractor, man, he's busy, man. He done got so busy. Okay, her mother, which is his mother, works for these rich folks. Well, they dropped her off over here and they saw my guest house. Oh, who built that guest house? My son. Well, hell, he built them a guest house. Now he's building the sister, no, the brother, a house. Then they want him in Cebu. He's the real deal. But yeah, we're going to get around to doing that. Because that's going to be my gift to Merlin. Merlin can do that. See, Merlin, I'm not going to give her a damn sorry store. Her business before I met her was doing that, taxes, deed of sales, clearing titles and all that kind of stuff, right? So she can do that. She'll be able to lease the land to people unless you're going to do it for your girlfriend and then you just buy the land. But of course, yeah, I'm going to do it because from everything I heard and what I'm seeing is the condo market's about to crash over here. When? This year, next year? It's just, the numbers don't lie. It's not adding up. Right now, I think they're 36. They're 36. They're 3 years behind. It's going to take them 3 years to fill up the condo units that they're building now. And it just keeps getting further and further and further behind. Nobody's buying the condominiums that they're building. Hey, Sonny D, thanks for that super chat. He says, I was talking to a Philippine online, and her son asked if he can call me dad. I knew then what was about to happen then. Well, I don't know if that has anything to do with money. I don't know if that has more to do with culture, because the son he wouldn't know anything about that. Yeah, I'm still going to do that. Hey, what's up, John? Sunny California. He says, I'm on Facebook with the same picture. At least you got a real picture. He said it's very simple. If they take a long time answering you on a dating site, they're talking to somebody else. That's not the case, though, Frank. It's not true. What's really going on is that's what you want. Okay, because the scammers, they'll talk to 3 or 4 men at the same time. Most of the women over here, the good women, they're working, going to school. They're out here trying to make ends meet. They don't have time to be on those dating sites. So it's going to take a while for them to get back with you. It's the ones that get back with you right away that's a red flag to me. Or when you sign in the dating site, the green light, she's already online, and they're waiting for men to come online. Those are the ones sending you all the messages and stuff. I'm just trying to tell you from my experience, I know people personally who have no interest in you, but they'll play peekaboo and they'll do all of that. They got boyfriends right here in St. Carlos City, and they sit online all day and they fish for men to send them. Hey, send me, 1,000. You know, if she can get 5,000 pesos a day, that's a lot of money. And for us, that's nothing. To send a woman 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. But no, that's not the case, Frank. I don't know how many days it was, because a lot of times they're not just sitting on those dating sites. First of all, they can't afford it. They don't have the money to be online. They don't even have the load. They really be telling you the truth when they say, "Hey, look, I don't have any money to be talking to you." Where are they gonna get it? They're not working. He said, "I will visit you in 2026 in February." He said, "My girl and I are thinking of doing the same. We have land in Cebu." A lot of guys are coming over here. They'll invest a little money. They get skeptical when they're talking about investing a lot of money over here. These condominiums are not cheap in the Philippines. And I found out why when I watched the video. The developers were establishing these prices. The developers, they own the banks. They were just really pulling the prices out of thin air. Because I'm thinking, like, well, why do they want, when you go to different places, I won't say any names, but you're like, you want 8 million for that? You know, According to this video, how they establish condo prices in the United States is like based on what the last condo price sold for, or what the average cost of condos are in that area. They don't just pull the price out of the thin blue sky. How you gonna charge me 8 million for a condo when you're not selling any condos? The 95% of the building is empty. But men, they'll spend, let's say 15 to 20,000. Okay, and if you got to walk away from that, it's like, okay, well, it didn't break me. Not that you want to, but it's a lot easier to walk away from. And you got a small house. I'm gonna have to show it to you before y'all really see what I'm saying. Y'all already saw the guest house, but it's gonna be just like double the guest house, basically. And you're gonna be on the land, or you're gonna lease it. Merle's gonna set it up where you can lease it, or you can buy it with your girl. He said, Cal, I found that the few Filipinos that I've dealt with as friends, I don't communicate on anything. I don't communicate on anything but the superficial, your thoughts. Yeah, because it's the same way I talk about it all the time, even with my girl. It's just that it's that communication barrier. What are they gonna talk to you about, Cedric? There's not a whole lot, man. Those cultural differences is a big deal, but we try to sweep it under the rug like it don't mean anything. It means a lot, man. It means a lot because most women, even though they can speak English, they don't speak it over here. Okay, in my house, they speak Visayan. I don't blame them. I don't make them speak English. I don't do that. But yeah, I mean, what are they gonna talk to you about? Remember, I told you, I said when I met Marilyn, she didn't even know who Donald Trump was. Okay, it's not like we can have deep conversations. Our conversations are a lot broader now that we've been together almost 6 years, but that's what you're gonna run into with any of them. I mean, it's just not a whole lot we can talk about. You're right. What are you gonna talk about? Because even the taxi driver asked me, did I know Kobe Bryant and all that? And where am I from? I don't. You're gonna need a foreigner over here for that to start getting into these deep conversations and stuff. You're not gonna get a deep conversation over here. So yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. But it doesn't matter if it's just your friend or your lover or your wife. Man, these guys aren't talking about anything with these women. We don't have a whole lot in common. There's a big age gap. We're justifying stuff. We're making stuff up. We're normalizing stuff that it's really outrageous when you think about it. We're making it work. We're beating that square peg in that round hole. We're forcing it in there. Cedric, that's what we're doing. But we won't admit it. And it's okay. Once you get our age, it's like, okay, I'm going to make this damn square peg fit. You know, I love the Philippines. I'm going to be honest with you. The reason I'm still here, man, of all the other stuff, it's the people, man. They really are nice people. They're not difficult at all. Everything else, man, it's just icing on the cake, really, man. He said, I wonder how the Dubai condo market is looking right now. Sounds like BGC and some other places are taking a beating. Well, it's going to be the same all around, Greg, simply because this guy's got a good video. I'm trying to think of his name. It's got like 70 something thousand because he's breaking it down in layman's terms. Who's buying them, though? Greg, this is the problem. The GDP over here is so low. The people's salaries are so low. There's not many foreigners coming over here. Not enough to meet the supply, but they keep building them. I've been on here for 4 years and I've been saying the same thing. I always wonder who's buying these condominiums. Man, we were just in Cebu. We just went through there on the way home. They're building more condominiums. I'm like, well, who's buying them? There's just not enough people to buy them. So yeah, it's either gonna correct and they're gonna bring the price down where more people can afford it, or it's gonna collapse. But it's gonna be the same way everywhere because they don't have enough Filipinos making that kind of money. See, the OFW market, that's their target market. And of course, the rich Filipinos, the well-to-do Filipinos over here. And a lot of them were buying these condominiums for an investment, for Airbnb, renting them out. Well, hell, when the tower is empty or you got so much competition that you can't even really earn a profit on renting it. It's no longer a good investment. So they're backing off. They're putting their money somewhere else. They're keeping it liquid, according to him. But it's the same place everywhere. I don't care where you go. Most of the buildings, because I'm a big Airbnb guy. When I rent them condominiums, man, most of the people in them are renting. And they're empty. Go to IT Park. And you see them big, beautiful towers, man. They're 75 and 80% vacant. But they just keep on building them. I don't know. I don't know who's bad. He said, "Hey, happy New Year, Cal." He said, "What are the 3 codes of ethics?" Well, number one is shut the fuck up and mind your own business. That's number one, I would say. Okay, that to keep you out of trouble. Mind your own business. Keep a low profile, meaning, you're a foreigner, they're gonna see you, but you don't have to be flashing money and jewelry and riding any big cars and bragging and all that and all the PDA with your girl out in public and all of that. And then, respect the culture, man. Respect the people in the culture. We always coming over here. First thing we want to do is put the place down. And it's not like that in Canada. Oh, they do it like this in Australia. And respect the people and the culture. You're in the Philippines, okay? Do as the Filipinos do. That's my 3. And, everybody else, may have a different one. But those are my 3, you know, because you don't know who you're dealing with over here. You don't know who you're dealing with over here. The rich people over here, they're not like the rich people in America. And all of that. With 10 gold chains and all that. You don't know. The mayor, you may be in line behind the mayor in the damn grocery store. The mayor here in St. Carl City, he walks around. He said empty condos also means lack of money for upkeep or maintenance. And that's what you're going to run into over here. I don't care if the building's halfway full. You go into these places. I go in all of them, man. It doesn't matter if it's in Bacolod, Elo, wherever they are. And I've stayed in Airbnb. Cagayan de Oro, same thing. They don't paint them. They got tiles missing, floor tiles, ceiling tiles. Of course, you're going to have roaches. Okay. The prices, that would be normal if I'm just going to pay a regular price. But, when they're charging 4 and 5 million for a studio condo, man, it's like, well, where's the market for this? I'm not a financial guy, but he broke it down and it made a lot of sense. He's just like, those developers are the ones setting the price, because it's not based on the market. It's not based on what they're selling for. Because, here, what they'll do is they'll take, okay, you can't just go to a condominium unless somebody already owns it and it's finished and you buy it like that. Now, you have to buy it in advance. So they'll say, okay, you pay for 2 or 3 years, and then on that 4th year, you pay the full, you either get it financed or pay the full amount that's due before you move in and occupy. Well, a lot of people, what they're doing is they're selling before the full amount is due. So that um, kind of screws up the numbers, really, because it's like, okay, I bought it, now I'm selling it. It's not like it's an actual new unit coming available for sale. You understand what I'm saying? He said, what's the best way to find a good contractor in the Philippines? I'm trying to build my wife a home so we can live together. Ask around. Your wife probably not going to know a lot of people, but she probably may have a brother or cousin or somebody who's in the construction not business, but who works in construction. And then it's maybe going to be his boss. All you see, you're going to, wherever you are, you're going to see them building houses, man. It's a lot of houses being built around here, but it's mostly word of mouth. I would ask a Filipino, or if I would let a Filipino man build my house. Or if you know a foreigner over here like me, if you in San Carlos and you got land and I've already proven it, and you come to me or you watch my video, you're going to go to rock engineering because you see his work already. He's already built his reputation. Now it's 20 times over now. And all the 20 people are going to say, hey, man, he really did a damn good job. But we found him through word of mouth. Yeah. That's why I did. He said, I built a house for way less than a condo cost. But what they were selling these condos, Thomas, over here were as an investment tool for these OFWs. And it did make sense for a while, but the market's correct. And, the OFWs are no longer buying. Nobody's renting the condominium. It's just too many of them. The supply is way beyond the demand. And the prices aren't coming down. So if they don't bring the prices down, it's going to collapse. It's not going to correct. But if you go to some of these places and you be like, man, there's no way I'm paying $4.5 million for a studio that's going to be somewhere between 17 and 20 square meters. I don't know, man. At one time, it made some sense, but Filipinos, it makes sense to them because it's a big deal to own a condominium or a house. I just don't think they got enough Filipino buyers. It's not like Thailand, man. You see Thailand, that's why you go over to Thailand and the prices are lower. Look at all them damn foreigners over there. And their GDP is not much higher than the Philippines. I think their GDP is like, I checked it the other day, it's like $7.79 or something. The Philippines is like $5 and something. It's real low. And then when you look at what is it? It's Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan is like $91. Their GDP, it's crazy. But because of the computer chips and all that. But yeah, but the Philippines just doesn't have enough foreign, expats and stuff like that to fill that void. You get a much better deal over in Thailand when you talking about a condo. I was when I went 2 years ago to Pattaya. Man, you right there on Beach Road, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. I want to say that you could get a condo for like 50,000 US or something like that. It wasn't much more than that. I couldn't believe it because I'm seeing what the prices are here versus what's over there. He said foreign investors were heating up condo market price to pay now. Well, not really. It was OFWs who were propping up the market here. There's just not that many. The Philippines doesn't have that many tourists here. It just, I mean, it's a very low amount of tourists. And remember, their salaries, they just aren't paying people enough to be able to afford a condominium over here. Those condominiums like that. That's the two things that's working against it. And then the well-to-do Filipinos and the rich Filipinos, they're no longer investing in condos anymore like they were before because they were going to rent to us. But there's not enough of us to rent to. He said, Calvin, so many people and bloggers were scammed recently all over Dumagetti area. And you and Tim and Rose have used trusted builders, and these bloggers and other foreigners didn't and got ripped off. I feel bad. I feel really bad that happened. Okay. People said, oh, you got lucky. No, we didn't get lucky. I'm not going to lie because I sat down face to face with my builder before I ever gave him 1 peso. And I told him, look, man, I don't have no money. I don't know how much money you think I've got, because his original plan was double what this house was. It was like 40,000 or something like that. I was like, I can't afford that. I said, if you really want to do business, you cut this in half. And he did. He came back. He was professional though, because I had met a guy, which I never even considered this guy. Rock Engineering was the only one I considered. He bought me his plans on a damn napkin, and he kept using the word cheap because it was one of Marilyn's friends. It was her boyfriend. He was an engineer. I never considered him though. And I guess he thought because his girlfriend and Marilyn were friends that, we were going to let him know. I never considered him. He bought me the plans on a damn napkin. He kept saying cheap, cheap, cheap. And I was like, no, I don't want this guy. Come find out, he's strung out on Shabu now. Walking around over here, where that area where the houses burned down. I saw him over there. And I was like, yeah, he's a drug addict now. He would have took my money, man, and ran out with it, But now Marilyn, first of all, she asked around. I didn't get lucky, but yeah, it's not hard, man. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to find a good contractor here. It's not hard as people think it is. It's a lot of houses going up. Now, I don't know about condominiums, but it's a lot of houses going up. And most of them are using an engineer, a contractor. He said BGC is taking a beating, but here in Moncton, it's booming. The new building next to me is 93% sold. It's not even done. It depends on the area. That building is 34 million. Well, I guess, you live there, you would know. But them condominiums are expensive. The one that my buddy was renting there, a 70 square meter, 2-bedroom condominium. They wanted 18 million for that. And there was tiles missing in the ceiling. And I'm like, nah, I'm sorry. I'm not paying 18 million for this. And that's just one building. There's a lot of buildings over there, and they're still building over there. I'm just saying, to me, for my money, because I don't have that kind of money, it's not a good investment. The man broke it down. It used to be, but it's getting ready to correct, man. They're gonna have to bring it. They're either gonna bring those prices down, or the market's gonna collapse, because there's not enough people buying those things anymore. They need to make it where the Filipinos can afford it. You can't base it on foreigners. The Chinese, with the pogo and stuff was going on, they were buying up all that stuff, man. But the thing is, a lot of these prices, they're just too high, man. And remember, you're talking about the 93% sold. If it's not done yet, they don't have the money yet. 53 Shades Darker. When you move in, then you give them then that other money's due at whatever the plan you got situated. A lot of them people, they're selling before that's due. But it just depends. I just, my thing is they're overpriced. Okay, for what you're getting, it's just overpriced. I mean, way overpriced, because they're not basing the selling price on nothing but what the developer says. Okay, if you go to my neighborhood in Louisville, Kentucky, and you buy a house, the person is not going. The real estate agent's not just going to pull a price out of thin air. They're going to see what the houses are selling for in the area. Certainly, the bank is going to do that. That's why you have to have what you call it when they go in. and determine the value of your house. The bank does that. They send him, and they send that assessor. They assess the value of your house. You think the bank is just you come to the bank, I don't care how good your credit is, and you say, oh yeah, I want 150,000 to buy this house. They're gonna send somebody in and have an assessment and say, well, if that house is not worth 150, we're not gonna give you that. They don't do that here. They don't do that at all here. The developer owns the bank. So he says, there, we want 8 million for that. Well, I don't have anybody that's gonna come behind me and assess that and say, hey, is this worth 8 million? Like they do over there. Hey, FX Trader, thanks for that super chat. He says, Happy New Year. You're not gonna buy a house in America. The bank's not gonna lend you a penny until they send somebody over there and assess the value of that house. But it's different when the bank and the developer are the same people, which is what it is over here. They're the same. Ayala owns BPI, and what SM owns BDO and all of that, man. So you go to Ayala, and then the bank's gonna say, yeah, it's worth 8 million. We're gonna give you 8 million. Well, this isn't who I listen to. I listen to another guy, but he's right though. He's right. Hey, Reginald Wallace, thanks for that super chat. He said, hey, Cal, just checking in. Happy New Year, my brother. Hey, thank you, man. Have you been over here and saw your daughter lately, man? I hope you've been able to iron that out. He said, this place averages about 65,000 pesos a month to live here. Yeah, that's a lot. He said they have about 10 people that have 5 units, and they are always sold out. One guy's an Australian, 2 are Korean. Well, I'm just telling you that before, I'm not just going to buy a condominium because that's what the developer says the price is. I want to make sure that what I'm buying is worth the price. You don't have anybody coming in because the developer and the bank are the same. That's coming in and doing it. What do you call that? It's not really the assessment. It's called something else. Come on, man. Somebody help me. Well, the bank, when you go to buy a house, okay, the bank makes sure that the house is worth what, you're trying to get the loan for. So they send somebody in there. What's that called? What's up, Mike Dawsonville? You still over here, right? He said Chiang Mai sounds interesting as well. Yeah, when it comes to condo units, he said the metro lost 17.6% during the last quarter. He said, damn, 53. Okay, you're not the red. If there's another Reginald Wallace, though, I'm sorry, you're not the wrong one. You're not the wrong one. I had him on my channel before. He's got a daughter over here. He broke up with the Filipina and is having some problems seeing his daughter. I'm sorry. He said, I don't have a daughter, Cal. I spoke with you from Manila in November. Okay. I'm sorry, man. You're the wrong Reginald Wallace. Yeah, the appraisal. Thank you, Lawrence. See, they don't do that over here because the bank and the developer are the same. They don't appraise it, man. So if they're the same, okay, then you're the one getting screwed. If they're gonna say 8 million, they want 18 million, okay, for that condominium in Moncton, Newtown. And I'm like, there's no way. This is in 2022. I mean, why would I pay more for a condominium in the Philippines than I'm paying in America? Okay, 18 million. It wasn't worth it, man, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, man. I'm just going by the eye test. Because the minute you walk in the lobby, the damn ceiling tiles is missing. One of the elevators wasn't working. I think it was called the Manchester or something. They probably fixed it by now, 2 years. But I'm saying, if they bought that down, if they said, okay, what, 9 million, okay, now, 18 million, come on, man, it's a lot of money. At that time, it was $360,000 is what they wanted for that 2-bedroom, 70 square meter condominium. Because when I did a video on it, and I wanted somebody, because the lady wasn't able to do it. I wanted somebody to sell me on that price. Like, why are they wanting so much money? Am I missing something? Because obviously I am. I'm missing something that you would want 18 million for this. Okay. And no one ever did, tell me. They couldn't tell me. It's overpriced, man. It is a conflict of interest. But remember, you're over here in the Philippines. Nothing makes sense over here. It's not supposed to, and it never will, because you're in the Philippines. We're not in the West. And it goes for a lot of things, Jacob Tanjay, but when you try to tell people that, they don't believe it. They think that the way it works in America or England or France or wherever, it's the same way it works around the world. It doesn't. I mean, yeah, it's a major conflict of interest when the bank and the developer are the same people. Who's going to come in and appraise it then to let me know whether or not I'm getting a good deal? Is it an investment? Or am I going in with the damn thing upside down? Good luck trying to sell them. Okay, if I'd have bought that for 18 million, now it's a used condominium 2 years ago. Who's gonna pay me 18 million for a used condominium? They're not gonna do it. They're gonna buy a new one. They're gonna want their own. Yeah, the home inspection is something else that has to be done. When I bought my first house over in America, the home inspection was first, but you pay for that. Okay, you pay for somebody that's not, associated with the bank or the seller to go in there and survey and do the inspection. So then he comes back and says, yeah, you got to have the trestle on the roof over here, and they got a lot of old furniture in the basement. He'll give you his suggestions on what you should do, and what you should ask the owner to do, and all of that. No, not the survey. That's right. It was the appraisal. It's the appraisal is what I was looking for. But you don't get that over here, so you don't know what you don't know if the price you're paying for it is an investment or not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just said that. That was the first thing I said. When you watch this live stream again, go back. That's the first thing I said. I said, when it comes to, we're talking about sending money to women, I say it's the same as rent. If I'm going to pay $1,000 a month for rent, I could do that at home. I'm defeating the purpose of being in the Philippines. And it's the same with a woman. If I'm gonna spend the same amount of money on a woman over here, what's the point of being over here then? The whole point of being in the Philippines is the lower cost of living across the board. Everything. Not just, pick and choose stuff. It should be across the board. He said, yeah, the Philippines has a real estate appraisal process that is regulated by the Professional Regulation Commission and the Philippine Association of Real Estate Appraisers. Okay, but even if they have all of that, Kevin, if the bank that you're going to get the loan from and the developer are the same people, well, that's what you're doing. That's what's going to happen. Because you're paying, okay, you're signing all this stuff. First of all, 3 and 4 years, Timmy Diamonds, before the condo is even available to you. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking it because that's the way they do business over here. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's not supposed to. It never will make sense to me. I'm not from here. But that's the way they do business over here. So you ban the condominium before it's built. So you're signing all that stuff before it's even built. How are they going to go in and appraise something that's not even built yet? You're signing all the forms and everything. You're making the commitment already before the tower ever even goes up. They call reservation fee. Then you start making payments every month for 3 or 4 years while it's being built. Okay? This is what I'm telling you. How can they appraise it? They set the price before it's even built. Make that make sense to me. It doesn't make sense because I'm not from here. But I'm saying to myself, I'm not going to do it because I don't have that kind of money. Some people can do it and write it off and all that kind of stuff. It helps them with their taxes and everything. If you that kind of money, though. Okay, he says, I'm in Dubai. It's hot today. Well, we got overcast. And I'm glad you brought that up, the temperature up, because I was telling Marilyn today. I remembered, I said, damn, it's not even hot today, but we get ready to go into this next month, in fact, the next 4 to 6 weeks, where the weather's going to be perfect over here. I mean, it's actually going to be kind of cool some days. Yeah, he said somebody paying $1,200. A lot of people, though. Yeah, they do own the insurance too. Blizzard, it's the next question. I see your question. Yeah, they own it all. Okay, but it's not supposed to make any sense to us because we're not from over here. He said somebody paying $1,200. Yeah, but there was a guy, somebody, I think that Philippine Life, he went to a guy who was renting in Iloilo, a house, a big house. He was paying 90,000 pesos per month for his house. It was big, but I'm like, these guys, they got that kind of money to do it. I'm not paying 90,000 a month for a place. I mean, we're doing that for ourselves. We're not doing that for the woman. Okay, a 20,000 peso per month place would be good enough for her. That's our ego doing that. And then you want the blogger to come over and show everybody, look at my house. I'm paying 90,000 pesos per month for this. I'm living big. It's the only reason you would do that over here, man. 90,000, come on. He said, damn, I wonder if they own their own insurance companies. Man, you would be shocked, man. Okay, monopolies are illegal in America. I can only speak for America. Basically, hell, they're trying to, cut up Google and but I'm saying monopolies over here are not. Now 53 Shades Darker, he rents. I mean, he owns condominiums. It's just it all depends on who you are. I'm just saying me. I'm not saying it's wrong to do it. I'm not knocking anybody for doing it. I'm saying I wouldn't do it. Just like you said, Thomas, if you had the money, you would buy a house versus a condominium. And that's what I did. I don't see the value in it. But that doesn't mean it's not a good investment. But to say that the condo market in the Philippines is booming, that's not true. That's not true. It's not booming. The GDP is so low, man. You gotta have Filipino buyers. There's not enough foreigners over here buying. I mean, but if I own a condominium, then I'm gonna say, yeah, I got a good deal and it's booming because I don't want to look like I got cheated. But I guarantee you, if you try to sell those condominiums, no one's gonna pay you those high prices for them. The 10 and 12 million and 14 million. Why would I do that when I can buy a brand new one for that amount of money? That's all. That's right. That's what I'm telling you, John. That's how they usually are based on. But not here, they're not. Because right around the condominiums is the squatters area. Okay? They're pulling these prices out of the thin blue sky, out of thin air. Okay? It's not based on comparable properties in the same neighborhood or comp. Because when you see these condominiums, once you walk outside the gate, you're at the squatters area. But if it works, I mean, if it works for some people, I guess if you would have got in real early, yeah, we know all this stuff, but that doesn't make it profitable, Kevin. We know all of this stuff. Do you know you're in the Philippines, man? Well, that stuff doesn't mean nothing. That stuff doesn't mean nothing. This is the land of laws. And it's all subjective anyway. We're not gonna argue about it or anything. We're just having a discussion. We're saying, we don't know where they get the prices from. It shocked me. It's always shocked me, not just in Moncton, Newtown, or BGC. I was in Cebu. I was living in Cebu, and I was thinking, like, well, why do y'all want so much for these condominiums? Why? The studio condominium, the 17 to 20 square meters. What justifies the price is what I'm saying. I know now, because the damn developer owns the bank. He's just setting the price. He's selling them for what he has to sell them for to make a profit. Well, most of them do because you can't choose your neighbors. I mean, you got to understand something. The building where the woman wanted 18, well, she owned it already. He was just renting. He was paying, I think he was paying 65,000 a month, if I'm not mistaken. That's what he told me. But he was renting a, a 2 bedroom, 70 square meter. And it's just, I was like, you want 18 million for this? I'm sorry. Okay. And, they couldn't sell me on it. They couldn't get me to I couldn't see it. I'm blind, man. I'm blind. But yeah, most of the places, if you go like, I don't want to name any names really. And I'm sorry I named that one. You know, I really don't want to name any names because that's not what this live stream is about. But the condominiums that I rent from, the popular ones, I've never rented one in Cebu where there wasn't a roach. That I didn't see a roach. And neither of these places do they want anything near 5 million for a condominium. Those condominiums are expensive, man. And you just see them and you're like, okay, even okay, what's the one? There's one in Cebu. It's real popular, but the upkeep and all of that, it's just not there for me. That you know of, Hal. Okay, he claimed he don't have no roaches. That you know of. Hey, Sonny D, thanks for that super chat. Not yet. He says foreigners were buying condos before they were breaking ground and selling the same condo in the final phrase for profit. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are doing. But here's the thing. That's what I'm saying when it comes to appraisal and all that. See, you're buying the condominiums before they even break ground on them. Okay. So how can you, if you ban it for 14 million already, how can you have that appraised when it's not even, you haven't even broke ground on it yet, Sonny D? Okay. But that's where they're getting these numbers from because you're really the same buyer. It's really the same unit being sold again. It's not a new unit, Sonny D. You see what I'm saying? But they want you to buy it for 14 million. And well, how can you appraise that? What happens when you build it and they appraise it and they say, well, it's only worth 4 million or whatever? That's the problem I've got is buying it and signing everything and agreeing to the price. You're agreeing to that price in advance, man. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. There's no way. There's no way I'm going to do it. But thank you, Sonny D. Yeah, that's what they're doing. You can't do it any other way unless you're going to buy um, a used condominium from somebody else. Somebody else who owns that. He said roaches are the unfortunate reality of attached dwellings. Yeah, you can't choose your neighbor. That's true. But how Funk Base says he don't have roaches. Well, not yet. You will. You will. Okay. But you will. He said, I have no roaches. You will. Okay. But you can manage that. Confident Voice Speaks. Thanks for that super chat. He says, in my opinion, Filipinos build and forget. He said, upkeep is a struggle here. I see it every day. It's a poverty mentality. You know, what I see is they put, they take all the profit out. They want all the profit. They don't put money back into the business. And so that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a building, pristine, nice looking building. But 4 or 5 years later, man, I can take you to Dumagetti right now. I can take you to Cebu, but Colin, any of those places where they build these big fancy places, man, and then next thing you know, the paint is peeling, the walls is cracking and everything like that. And you're saying, when you bring the buyer in, the buyer's going to see that. The potential buyer of your unit. But he says, I have no roaches. Not yet. If you got a condominium here, you will eventually. He says I was quoted 22 million for Mandalay Bay. Yeah, those are some real nice ones. I saw them. I saw the brochure because my friend who was renting in Moncton, he looked there too. He looked there too, and I think he was quoted something like that. He was quoted 10 million for a one bedroom in Moncton, Newtown, and he was going to buy it, but I think he changed his mind. Yeah, he said, yeah, because expats cannot own property. Well, property they can, not land. However, they can own condos, which is property. I know what you're saying, though. He said the high prices are to take advantage of foreigners. Well, I don't know. I really don't know the reason. Remember, it's a cultural difference. It's not supposed to make any sense to me. Okay, but this is the type of stuff that I try to get people to look at when they come over here. That everything is not going to be the same. It's, you're bringing your Western thinking here because that's all we have, and a lot of stuff's not going to make sense to you. You really got to think it all the way through when you come here. Anything that you're dealing with over here, you can't rush over here. Everything you got to think it all the way through, man. Yeah, if you're single, wrong, Ross, that would be a good idea. But everybody's story is not the same. Everybody's situation is not the same. I'll be down if I'm going to rent over here and I got a little daughter here that's got to live. She's going to have to live here. She's going to grow up here in the Philippines. I'm not renting shit because I may not be around. Who's going to pay the rent then? But if I'm single, I'm a man, why would I buy anything? I'm not married. I don't have any kids over here. Why would I? Why would I buy? But you say, yeah, one bedroom, 26 square meters. That's about right. And that's a lot of money for that. And I don't care how you stack it up. That's a lot of damn money. You're looking at about what, $400,000 for a one bedroom condominium in the Philippines? Make that make sense to me. But it's never gonna make sense to me. But some guys will tell you that it makes sense. Okay. And then they're just never gonna upkeep the building. That's the problem. Now, if you got it situated where you're a good promoter, a good marketer, and you got that thing rented out 100% of the time, which I don't believe that. It's not enough people over here. 100% of the time, every single day of every single month of every single year, excuse me, then okay. He said, I don't want a condo at any price. I want a house. It's all a matter of opinion and perspective. He said, and like Calvin said, it was a 2 to 3 year pre-sale. Yeah, so they're going to sell you that R68 DVR. This is the problem I've got. You already agreeing to the 22 million before they even build it. This is what baffles me. I'm like, how can how can that be appraised? How do I know that what I'm buying is worth 22 million? I got to take their word for it. I guess, you know, I got to take their word for it. He says an absolute beautiful property. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I paid 12. What did you say? Did you pay? Is that 1.2 million? Okay, now it's 8 million. Oh, so you bought it from somebody who it was already. Your situation is different though. I mean, look how you bought that. Hey, you got a deal. I mean, this is the way I would do it. This is the Western way of buying it. We're talking about buying it, you know, the Filipino way. How? You bought it the Western way. Who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't buy an 8 million peso condominium for 1.2 million? For 1.2 million, period. See, that would be the price I'm talking about buying a condominium in the Philippines. That's my budget. Everybody else's budget different. Okay, he said he paid 1.2 million. Okay, that's about right what people would be thinking that they're going to pay. Okay? But when you go to places, they just couldn't get me to understand why they want 18 million in Moncton, Newtown. And they don't have to worry about me bang, I'm just gonna stay poor. He said, yeah, expats can own the condo in their name, but never a house and land. Only reserve the Philippines to own land. Yeah. You can be on the house. You can even be on the deed. It ain't gonna mean anything though. But if I'm married, I want my name on there just in case she dies. Because there's some ways that you can eventually own it, heredity being one. But I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to practice Filipino law without a license. If I was really interested and I was really worried about that, I'd come over here and get with you know, a competent lawyer and let them really tell you what's going on, what you can own and what you can't, what you can do, what you cannot do. It is a general rule that we cannot, okay? But there's foreigners here who own land and the property that is owned. I stayed at a resort in Sapalay, Negros Occidental, where a French and German owned the property and the resort. Yeah, roaches are everywhere. You're not going to get rid of that. But hell, the lizards don't bother me. You're going to have those lizards, those little bitty lizards. I'm trying to look and see if I used to have one in here, and they keep on, you know, reproducing. I mean, you see the little bitty one, and they immediately come out of the mother and sit on that wall waiting for insects. Yeah. Yeah, well, see, Greg, he said foreigners can still buy land in the Philippines if they want to build their dream home, like how Greg and his wife Wilma did. Well, Wilma is a Filipino, though. Even though she's an American, I think she I don't know. I can't say if she's a dual citizen, but as smart as she is, I'm pretty sure she is. I met them before. I met them I mean, they're great people. They're real people. Okay, they're humble, they're down to earth people. I met them at a meet and greet in Dumaguete. Okay, they're not that stupid. I'm pretty sure she's a dual citizen. Okay, so she could probably own that land, and I'm pretty sure he's on it. Something were to happen to her. But yeah, yeah, you got a damn good deal, Hal Funk, baby. See that's where I am right there. Now I would do that. Actually, okay, my ex-wife had a friend here where the woman lived in America. Her mother died over here in Manila, left her a condominium. She only wanted 500,000 for it, but guess what? I didn't have the 500,000 at the time to buy it. I couldn't believe it. You only want 500,000 for it. She only wanted 500,000 because she's living in America. She just wanted to get rid of it. This is before my channel and everything. I was in Zamboanga City. This is right before the lockdown. She wanted 500,000 for a condominium in Manila. I'm like, damn. Yeah, you got a damn good deal. He said the foreigner will always pay more money than the Filipino. I don't know about that though. With these condominiums, they're already, priced and everything. On certain things, yeah, you will. If you show up at the market, um, I've been in San Carlos City for 6 years. If I go to that market today, they're gonna charge me more for whatever I'm buying. Okay, and you can tell they're gonna charge you more. They're gonna hesitate just slightly. They're gonna hesitate when you ask how much it is. Yeah, but these lizards here are nothing. I wouldn't even consider them lizards. They're called lizards. Well, geckos really, but they're real small, and you want them here because they get rid of all the insects. They got them in Hawaii, I was told. It's not like you got them everywhere. We might have 2 or 3 of them in this whole house because I guess they're territorial too. I'm not for sure, but it's nothing that I would be afraid. It's nothing to be afraid of because they stay up at the top of the wall. Now, when you go in the province and you get them other ones, or you go to places where a lot of coconut trees and different things like that, and you get those are the lizards, the ones about 6 inches long, about 2 inches wide. Like we have one in Sikihor. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wilma is a dual citizen. But yeah, they're real good people. They're real humble, man. You wouldn't believe they built a hell of a house. Yeah, yeah. He said one thing I never hear in the Philippines is road rage. He said, so I'm guessing it's the unsafe components and driving habits. When you do hear road rage, it usually involves a foreigner and a Filipino because when they cut you off and stuff like that, it drives us crazy. But to them, they'll give each other a look. I've seen it, but they won't act on it. And sometimes they'll blow the horn, but they're going to get out and shoot you over that, like we do in America. But they got a certain look. They'll acknowledge that, hey, fool, you almost ran me over, but that's about it. Yeah, and then over here in the Philippines, remember you can do things over here that you can't do in the West simply because it's more affordable. Okay, so when people say, every house is not the same. So when people say, oh yeah, he built that woman a house and a lot, well, every house and lot is not the same. I didn't spend 5 and 6 million for it because I didn't have that kind of money. But I got a nice enough house for Maryland and the kids that they would have never had I not built it. We go way overboard. We go beyond what is necessary. And we do that for ourselves. That's our ego. We don't have to do that. We're our own worst enemy over here. We've always been and we'll always be. These women aren't even asking you for anything for real. Okay, they might paint the picture, but they're not going to ask you for anything. You're reading her the wrong way. You're the one who's spending all this money, man. Buying cars for women who don't have license. They can't drive. You're gonna buy the car first, then teach her to drive and all that crazy stuff. When she would be happy with a motorcycle. But we go way overboard. You take a woman out of the province and out of the squatters area and put her in a 5, 10, $15 million house. Tell me why that makes sense. Only because you're doing it. And then when you're not around and she can't afford it, she's going to sell it for pennies on the dollar. So all that money that you spent in there, you're going to waste it. Well, it looks like putting Merlin in a 5-bedroom, 5-bath house, knowing that if I'm not around, she's going to sell that thing. And she's not going to get anywhere near what I put into it. No, we're not afraid to take a chance, man. We're not afraid to take a chance. Everything you're saying is right. But it's not an investment to me if I'm going in with it upside down 53 shades darker. You're not just going to I don't care who the people are. They're selling me their dream. You're not just going to sell me a condominium for 18 million before it's ever been built because you say it's worth 18 million. So now I'm stuck with the 18 million. I get what you're saying. What do you think I did with this house? But I bet if you send an appraiser over here, it's going to be worth more than I paid for it. Any appraiser from anywhere around the world, you send them to this house, and my lot in my house is going to be worth more than I put into it. That's exactly what you're doing. You don't have to think outside the box to do that. But if I go and I buy a condominium and they charge me 18 million for it on a pre-sale, and I agree to 18 million and everything like that before it's ever even built, man, that's crazy. I'm not going to do it. Other people can do it. And there's a chance that that condominium will never be worth 22 million. That man was going to pay for that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, for the real super rich, they can do that. It'll be a tax write-off and all of that. But we're talking about the people who follow my channel, they're not super rich. They don't have that kind of money to waste. If I'm going to buy a condominium, it's going to be something like what Hal Funkbase did. That's about the same amount of money I spent. He spent 1.2, I spent 1 million. But when you add the guest house and the fence and all of that, you know, I'm not spending that. You know, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to sell me on that. You're not going to tell me it's worth 18 million. I got to have an outside appraiser come in and say, hey, is this worth it? And he's going to go in there and he said, man, you're a fool to pay 18 million for this. It doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to be smarter than anybody else. The numbers don't lie. It's really a simple thing. I mean, you can convince yourself of anything. But I'm not buying that sight unseen for 18 million, 12 million, whatever it is, millions that they're. I mean, where are you getting these prices from, man? He said, I'm sitting on the balcony of my place here, just watching the tenderonis go up and down the street. Life is good in the Philippines. I remember texting to Zoe said that. He said, you know, I love my wife. I'm happy with her and everything. He said, but that's one of the reasons I love the Philippines. He said, because of the beautiful women I get to see. He said, all the eye candy. And he's telling the exact truth, man. I can get in the tricycle and go from here to Save-More, and I'm going to see a handful of just beautiful women. I don't want them. I just like to look at beautiful women. I'm a man. But that's what he said. Yeah, every man has a story. Yeah, you're buying sight unseen like Tesla. But see, Tesla is not this big investment juggernaut that some people want you to believe it is. If you listen to the real investors, they're selling their Tesla stock. Because Tesla's not even the best electric car on the market now. It might be the most popular, And that's what we go by over there. We go by the most popular. Jordans are not the best sneaker, but they're the most popular. They're not the best shoe. Okay, try to run a marathon in Jordan. Yeah, that's quite reasonable. No, no, we're not scared. You don't have to be scared. We're just not a fool in some ways. We do have a lot of investors. We can agree to disagree, man. That's all we're doing here. And don't take it personal. I'm not gonna rent. I'm not renting. I own my house, but I'm not gonna pay 18 million for condominium before it's built. You gotta, there's a because I bought houses in America before. I know the process, but I'm not in America. I'm in the Philippines. And so it doesn't make sense to me, and that's why I haven't done it. Okay, I will in a minute. I've got a few minutes to go. That's all I'm saying. He said 400K is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath in most of the states in the US. I'm not even saying it's a bad investment for people. Y'all taking it personal. I'm saying I wouldn't do it. I can't see the value in it. I bought a house in America before. I went through the process, the credit check, the income, and all of that. Okay, I saw the house I wanted, but that didn't mean the bank just came in and gave me the money. I had the house inspected, came back, I took it to the owner. Look, you got to fix this, this, and this. Okay, they fixed it. Then the bank, once they said, okay, your credit and everything, they send the appraisal over there. They say, hey, is this house worth 114,000? And it was. So then they loaned me the money. They wasn't gonna loan me 109, 114,000. Well, actually, they loaned me 109 because the owner actually gave me five. They wanted to sell the house so bad, they gave me the 5,000 on the down payment. They wasn't gonna loan me 109,000 on a house that was only worth 50,000. But over here, if the conflict of interest, if the damn bank and the developer are the same people, yeah, they're gonna loan me the 18 million. They're gonna, they're not gonna have an appraiser. That's all. Yeah, to each his own. That's all. Yeah, he said roaches live through a nuclear blast. What's up, Patrick? Now he's stayed in a lot of condominiums and everything in the Philippines and different countries. What's the best condo market in Southeast Asia, Patrick? If you're still on here, can you tell us that? He says, I'll be back to the fields in March. He says, thanks for the great info. Good day from Oakland, man. Yeah, come on back. Yeah, it is exhausting. It took me 68 days to close. So long that my ex-wife, my wife at the time, she gave up. I was like, shit, I done came this far. I'm not giving up, because they'll find something else. And you have to do that. And then, well, what's this? You got to explain this on your credit and all that. And then the day came, man. I was eating lunch. I'll never forget it. It's a day I'll never forget. My phone rang and it was the bank. They gave me the closing date and everything. I couldn't believe it, man. 68 days. But do you even pre-sale over there? Do we pre-sale in America? I'm not for sure. I haven't been. That's not my experience. He said, "Hey, Cal, can you talk about that time you on a dating app and you told all your friends about how they really like you?" Yeah, because I was naive. I didn't know it, but hindsight being 2020, I had a lot of success on the dating sites, but I didn't know what it was all about, Mr. Untouchable. I didn't know about the unspoken agreement. I knew nothing about the Philippines. I just knew that, man, these dating sites really work. And the women were nice looking, attractive. I knew nothing about what was going on over here. But now that I know, I try to, share my experience with people. They're not listening. They got a guy on Rafi Tufo right now. I don't know who's got these old men thinking that these women really like them. I mean, that's crazy. They don't have to love you. They don't even have to really like you. Just respect me. Don't try to use me. Don't try to take advantage of me or mistreat me. I'm not going to let you mistreat me. But these men think that these women really love them, that they're really after them. Yeah, they're after your money. He says, nothing wrong in being a renter for life as long as you save money for your retirement funds. Invested in share markets, value will increase more than the house you financed all your life. See, that's a great point. That's a great point. But who's going to do that? A lot of people, it's just the way that we were raised. It doesn't matter. It just matters what family you come out of. It doesn't matter the race. A lot of people don't have investments. We never were taught about stocks and investing and all that. Most of us and our mothers and fathers, we live from paycheck to paycheck. This new generation is on top of that though. They're a lot better. They're going into this cryptocurrency and all of that stuff. But if we were so smart, why didn't we get in on Coca-Cola and Microsoft and all that? We didn't do it. Maybe later on, because we didn't come out of that family. I didn't. I knew nothing about investing. The only time I found out was investing was when I started working and joining the 401k. And then they'll come around and they'll ask you, how do you want your money invested? Yeah, I really didn't care. I just checked off anything, really. But that was my first introduction to stocks, because then I got a job, actually a color corporation, where every payday we got a certain, percentage of stocks. And after being there for so long, you had a nice piece of stock. And the stock doubled twice, while I was an employee there. This was in the 90s, like 90, let's see, was my daughter born yet? I want to say it was 95 or somewhere around there. No, yeah, somewhere around there. I would be rich. I would literally be rich right now had I kept that stock. But I was drinking and getting high, and I just didn't, the long-term vision, I didn't have that. I wasn't able to save money where I didn't have to look at that stock over there. That stock reached 10,000, man. I hurry up and snatch that money out. Hey, Miss Untouchable, thanks for that super sticker. Yeah, 68 days, man. He says, I get a VA loan like a lot of guys. No money down. It's still not enough. Yeah, that when you buy that house, man, they take you through the ringer, man. Because those banks, man, they're frugal. That's why they become so rich. They're not just gonna give you that money like that. He said you're gonna think they all love you on the dating site. But I can tell you that you're gonna have success on these dating sites here. Simply because the women they want to be found. They want you to find them, but you have to know what you're doing. You gotta have some type of a lot of guys, we're afraid to ask for the sale. See, and that's another problem you guys got. You gotta ask for the sale. You got to go on and say, hey, look, meet me at the airport or whatever it is. Or come on over here to Ayala or whatever it is. Or, go to Boracay with me or whatever. You're afraid. So you keep on trying to friend the girl when most of us do the on-the-job training. That's what it's going to amount to. Most of these relationships are on-the-job training. You get together, then you figure everything else out. You guys are trying to figure it out before, and you end up losing it or what to somebody else. It's first come, first serve. That's what it is. But they want to be found. They want you to choose them and pick them out of the crowd. They feel special and everything like that. But guys are afraid to ask for the sale. What's up, King B? I'm asking them the first day. I'm setting it up already because I don't have time for the games. Okay, if you want to play games, there's other guys that are going to play with you. I'm coming over that. I don't know about anybody else. I've never chatted over 2 weeks, and I would suggest to you don't do it. He said, banks want you to borrow from them, not invest. Yeah, it's just the way that we're raised. You're raised, okay, get a job, buy a house, get married, raise a family, man, then die. Most of us are raised like that. That's what society. America is not a society of investors, man. If you think that, it's not true. It's a very small percentage of people that even invest their money like that. We don't have it to invest. We don't have the patience. We don't have the money to lose. You always hear the success stories. You never hear of the crashes. It's always the success stories you hear. Same with these gamblers. Go online now. That's the big thing now. These sports betting gurus, and they're selling you their lifestyle. The big car, the big wad, the money. They only show you when they're winning. They don't show you when they're losing. You lose credibility with me for that. You can't win all the time. Nobody wins all the time. I remember they asked Quincy Jones, it's like, but why are you so humble? And you had all this success through all these generations. He said, because nobody's on top. Nobody stays on top. And that's true. But to go back to what Ruby was saying, okay, it's okay to rent if you're gonna invest that other money, but people aren't gonna invest it. It's the same thing when you come to the Philippines. I already did a video on that. We get a great opportunity. If you come to a place like the Philippines where the cost of living is lower, you're going to have extra money. It doesn't mean spend the damn money. Save it. Pay off your bills over there. Do something with it, but spend it. We don't spend it. We see that extra money. I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going on a trip. I'm going to buy me a car, motorcycle, whatever. Because we don't have that mindset. You got the perfect opportunity here. I mean, really, to get your finances together. If you can delay the gratification, but we can't do it. We're too impatient. We're too impatient. We want it, and we want it now. Yeah, we don't get taught financial literacy. That's something they want you to be taught at home. Well, how are they going to teach you at home if your mother don't know it? And eventually you run into something. They even expose the guy, rich man, poor man, and how he's a fraud. and how he's not even following his own suggestions. He's selling those books. That's how he's getting rich. He's not getting rich by these strategies he's selling you people. He's getting his money from selling those books, man. He said Bitcoin just came out. He said we've only been allowed to commercially buy it through our bank since 2017 or so. It's made a comeback. But I'm saying a lot of the people, though, they're in on this stock, day trading and stuff like that. But just the average person, man, they usually getting their money on their 401k. That's the only investing they're doing. Imagine you try to buy, you can still buy Microsoft stock and all of that. You can't afford it though, but you can still buy it. It's all about getting in at the right time. You got to have some type of trust. You got to have those type of people around you that you trust. We don't have that kind of trust. We don't have that kind of money to put in there and be like, okay, it's always easy. Hindsight is always 2020. The guy on here, oh, I wish I would have invested in Tesla, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, and all that. It was a time you could have. You didn't do it. You didn't trust anybody. There's those stocks, right? There's stocks right now who are 10, 20 years in the future are going to be the Tesla and the Microsoft and the Coca-Cola of the future. You're not looking at that stuff right now. Yeah, this is one thing, Ruby, that I've already told my kids. She says, with the knowledge you have now, Cal, make sure you pass that on to your daughter so her future will be financially secure. My children, my grown children, all my children, I said, I gave y'all something that's more valuable than money. And that's a great example. See, they saw me put on my shoes and go to work every single day. I didn't sell drugs. They never seen me drunk. They never seen me do any of that stuff. I showed them. I gave them the blueprint for a successful life. Now, whether they're going to take it, it's on them. But I gave it to them. See, now they got something to weigh it up against. They saw the good times. He said, yeah, OJT. That's what most people are doing. But yeah, my family passed on to me what they had. My mother finished the 9th grade. She never finished the 10th grade. So she gave me the things like compassion and like that. Character and all of that. And that's what I came back to. She gave me that. So when I did go off track, I knew, the right thing to do. She taught me the right thing to do. But that's what my mother gave me. She didn't give me any type of financial advice. I watched my mother struggle her whole life. That was the example I got. There was nobody around me. My sister had good jobs and she graduated with a college degree and all of that. But there was no investors in my family. There was nobody doing that. The people who were successful in my family, they worked their way to the top. They didn't have no good stocks and all of that. So I didn't either. He said, renting works best for me. I like the freedom renting allows me. However, my kids are grown. It's very situational. And that's what I said. Everybody's story is not the same. And it's not everybody's dream to be rich. Not like that. Rich is a broad term, man. I'm rich right now. The money just hasn't caught up with me, but I'm rich. I'm rich. You got good health. You got good people around you. You got a loving family and friends. Your life is quiet, man. Your life is quiet. That's what you want. You want a quiet life. You don't want all that noise going on. I'm not fighting any criminal cases. Nobody's looking for me and all of that. My life is quiet, man. That's a successful life. I don't have any health crisis and all of that. See, that's a good life, man. But we want all that noise. We so used to all the noise over there. So when you come to a place like this and everything quiets down, you think something's wrong. No, something's right when your life gets quiet. I don't have any problems with anybody. You know, that's a good life, man. He says the Philippine condo market is very good at selling a dream to unsuspecting OFWs. That's their target market. It's not foreigners, man. It's not enough foreigners. Check the numbers don't lie. It's not enough foreigners coming over here like that. He said many empty condos and many unsuspecting people buying condos, they won't be able to flip. It's going to crash, man. If they don't correct it and bring the prices down where people can afford to buy these units, it's 3 years out already. Look it up. It's true. It was just in the paper. Okay, just put that in there. Let's put the Philippine condo market crash. Just put that in Google. And what's going to come up is going to be headlines from 3 or 4 days ago. And it's going to tell you how far out the market is. They got so many units, far more than like 3 years out. He says, I always ask for a cinema to make sure the Filipino is not already married. Yeah, that only costs like 200 pesos or something. But we don't do that. Yeah, but see, you got to realize something, Ruby. I just talked about that. This guy's a fraud. They've already uncovered him as a fraud. He got his money not from following those strategies he gave you, and they're trying to say that the rich dad may not have even existed for real. Okay, this guy, he's a fraud. He got that money. You know how he got his money? From selling books to you. Okay, she said, read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That opened my eyes about how to plan for my future the way rich people think. Yeah, but see, this was all made up. They've exposed him. He got rich by selling those books, not investing in all of that. And now he's selling this. He's so much in debt and how to become rich from being in debt. It's all, he's selling that is what he's selling. He's not selling investment strategy. Yeah, I just said this, Mike. He said the hottest job in the Philippines is having a foreign sponsor. That's the best part-time job. I talked about that 3 years ago. That's the best part-time job to have is, gullible foreigner sending you money. You can't find a better job. And because more than likely, he's not even going to come over here. One of Merle's best friends in the whole entire world. The man's been sending her money for 28 years, or 23 years, or 28 years, I can't remember. But he recently passed away. Never came over here. I'm talking about sending her good money. The house she's got over there, he built the house over there. Never stepped foot in the Philippines. He was afraid he was going to be kidnapped because, he had some money, but he recently died. Yeah, he said, we're trained to be consumers and borrowers. It's deliberate to keep us in perpetual servitude. I wish we did have some type of financial literacy growing up. I didn't have it. Some people fortunate enough to be around that. I come in contact with it some kind of way. You got to understand something. If what you're saying, James, was not the absolute fact, why in the world are these athletes going broke and these entertainers? There's no way they should go broke. If everybody's so financially literate, they're around people They're around money people. How can Antoine Walker earn 110 million and basically be broke? The only thing to save Allen Iverson is somebody was looking after his best interest and bought him an annuity years ago that's going to pay him $1 million a year, that's paying him $1 million a year. Otherwise, he'd be broke. Okay? Because we don't have that. We're not taught that. And then some guys, once they get up there, like LeBron James, they start listening to people. They're surrounded by the right people who give them good advice and they follow it. Most of us, we're not good at taking advice. We don't want anybody telling us what to do. That's where our problems start. It's the same with bloggers and stuff. People wouldn't have had the problems in the Philippines and other places that they have if they would just take some suggestions. We're not good at that. I can work this out on my own. I don't need you. These guys earn millions and millions of dollars, man. And 5 years from their retirement from the sport, or when they stop making records, they're broke. How? When they got the money to invest in Tesla and all that. And a very tiny percentage of them do. Probably the same percentage of the population that invests. A lot of times it's just, but this book, he's a fraud, man. Look it up. I'm not making this up. I'm not putting him down. They've exposed him. He didn't, he didn't get rich on the information he's giving you. He got rich from the books he's written. He's not even following his own advice. He's a pretty bad investor, honestly. He said, "Greetings from San Francisco. Happy New Year." He said, "I get a kick out of people asking if the Philippines is safe. Heck, you don't hear someone running down people with a pickup truck in the Philippines. Yeah, you know, it's just human beings, though. It's just our nature. We're a violent creature. There's nothing, I told y'all a long time ago, my humble opinion, there's nothing divine about the human race. They fed that stuff to us. There's nothing divine about us. If it was, there would be no poverty. There would be no violence like that if we were so divine. There's nothing divine about us, man. We're animals. That's what he was selling. He said, books are trash, 98% plus. They're saying that the rich father that he was talking about in that book didn't even exist. I'm talking about real people that exposed that book as being a fraud and him as being a fraud. Now he's like $1 billion in debt. So now he's trying to turn it around and say, "Oh, I'm going to show you how to be, it's how you get rich from going in debt and all this and all that, right?" And, some people are going to come forward and say, "Oh, it helped me." But the majority of people got no help out of that. It's the same with these old sports bettors, these influencers. Okay, they're selling these picks. They're selling you on the lifestyle to bring you in. Man, that sports betting is a science. And if it was so easy and they were winning so much, because some guys on there I've never lost. How's Vegas exploding, still exploding? He says, "I try to tell the younger people don't buy things you can't pay cash for and don't buy cars, trucks to impress women." Yeah, good luck. But that's what we do. We're consumers. We're competing against each other. How many people now? Okay, when I stopped buying cars, it was the last time I bought a brand new car, it was a 4-year loan. Now there's 7-year loans over there. 7 years to pay off a car. Hey, thank you, Lee. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, if you can just, those are the people who succeed, who have that self-discipline. Self-discipline, not discipline. Like you, the boss, has his foot on your neck. That's the reason why you show up for work every day at 8 o'clock. Okay, because you know that if you don't, you can't pay the mortgage, you can't take care of your family. But it's the self-discipline that makes you wake up early and go to the gym and eat right, drink more water, and all of that. And you're able to put off the gratification, that instant gratification. You're able to save money. You're not out there in the club. You're not driving down the street in the bank's car, by the way. Most successful people, they're not out there flossing their success. If you out there flossing your success, that means you're really not successful. That's the way I look at it. They got to prove to you, look at me, I'm successful. Look at this chain I bought. He said, I always thought that those get rich books were published just to make the author rich and not the reader. It's true, but there is some lessons that can be learned in there. There is a certain percentage of people that are going to succeed off of those books, and that's what keeps them going. But a lot of times for me, man, I read I read some books that have been called, they call Think and Grow Rich a scam, right? Okay, but the actual book that I read that really put me on my feet was Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough, where he told the backstory. He went out and interviewed the top, black businessmen, the richest and most successful black people in America. And he kind of tells their backstory. And that's sort of what interests me. I'm interested in phenomenal people. And I want to know how they got started and how they got to where they are in life. And then, he takes out the principles that that he, gets out of their stories. That's what makes it interesting. And, when you hear stuff about going the extra mile, see, that's true. If you do more than what you're paid to do and what you're expected to do, eventually it's going to pay off. But if you're only doing just the you know, what you're paid to do, how can you even go in there and ask the boss for a raise? You can't really, because you're doing what you agreed to do. Come here at 8, you leave at 4. But you come in early, stay late, you do what you're not expected to do and what you're not paid to do, then he's going to give you a raise and you're probably going to be the last one who gets laid off. So I just took that into my insurance business. I went the extra mile. I still do it. I do more, man, than what people expect me to do and what I'm paid to do. Or help other people. See, we're too selfish. Okay, that's all we worry about is me, me, me. Okay, if you got investment knowledge, pass that on to somebody. Teach us how to do it. Don't just sit back and say, oh, look at me, I can invest. Show us how to do it then. And what we need to do. It's a lot of principles, see, that you can, mine out of those books. A lot of it is junk, but there's certain stuff you can mine out of there and you can use. Because I'm not interested. I want something that can help me now. And that's the only problem I've got about going to church. They don't give me anything. When I leave out of church, man, they don't give me anything that I can use right now in my life. I need it now. They tell you just go home and pray and whatever it is. No, I need more than that. It's a cruel ass world out here. He says, I teach my kids how to invest in stocks, bonds, and treasury funds now, trying to set them up for a better future. And that's good, man. All I was taught was to go to work, stay out of trouble, get a good job, save your money. Basically, you know, is what I was taught. Finance was not uh, something that I was taught. You know, yeah, he said they have to literally force people to enroll in 401k. Well, there's a history behind that, though, Blizzard Abroad. What's the name of that place in Houston, Texas? Because I know it's a lot of people from Houston watching it, where they stole all the people's money. The people have been putting in that 401k. For one guy, he thought he had $1 million in the damn thing in Ryan. Okay, this is what. Okay, because they blew the lid off of that. A lot of these 401ks were phony. Okay, the company, the executives are taking all the money out. There was one guy who he retired after 40 years. He thought he had $1 million in his 401k in Enron. Guess how much he ended up having? $1,000. He had to go back to work. Look up that Enron. This is the reason why people got skeptical of the 401 and they didn't want to invest in it because of things like that. I mean, we've got some crooks over there in America and they still going strong, man. They got a great documentary on 401ks and how you got to be careful how all the fees you pay over the life of the 401k exceeds the money you get in the damn 401k. So it's a lot of reasons why people are skeptical of them 401k. From the surface, it looks good. But how many people did that? That Tyco executive spent all that money on his wife's 40th birthday or whatever it was. He ended up cooking the books, robbing the damn company of 600 million, taking people's life savings and all that. There's a reason people, hold back off that stuff, man. Them guys are crooks over there. Yeah, that Enron scandal. But see, we're so distracted. We want to tell you, oh, that was a long time ago. That don't mean anything. Okay. Then I guess the stock market scandal. That see, this is what stops everyday people like us from really having any faith in the system. You act like that stuff doesn't mean anything. Like it was way hundreds of years ago. The housing crash and all that, where they cheated all of us. Okay, y'all act like that don't mean anything. Nobody went to jail from that, but the everyday man lost everything. But the rich people and the investors, they stayed up there. As a matter of fact, they were rewarded. The government bailed them out. They're not gonna bail you out. They're not gonna bail you out. Nobody went to jail behind that. He said moving to the Philippines can make you go from poor to rich. It can, but remember we bring our same thinking over here. So if you're not going to save in America or France or wherever, you're not going to save over here. That takes some time. But you could easily pay off your bills. Okay, now all of a sudden my bills in America was 5,000 a month. Now over here they're 2,000. You got 3,000. But what do? Oh, I got this 3,000. I'm going to buy that new Harley Davidson or that new BMW motorcycle or whatever it is. This is what we end up doing because we did it over there. It takes a long time to make that change. But if you intentionally want to make it, you can do it. you're going to have the extra money over here. Okay, I don't know what people are doing. They're living the same way with the same taste and the same lifestyle. They're bringing it over here. So guess what? It's going to cost you. But no matter what you teach your kids, if they're not going to take it and run with it, at least you can say you gave it to them. Because we think that everybody's smart enough to grab a hold of these principles and actually, when people sell these plans and they're selling it to everybody, not realizing that everybody's not going to be able to take that system, this great system that you're selling, and make it work. That's how you know it's a scam. These old network marketing, they're selling to everybody as if we all got the same ability and comprehension, and we're all ambition and everything like that. No, but they sell it to us. They make it seem so easy. They almost guarantee success, and we buy into that. He said, "Facts on the cinema." I don't know what the human. I don't know what the human race is looking for. We say we want happiness, but if the world's so damn happy, then why do we keep having all these wars and they call it a terrorist attack in New Orleans now. 15 dead. What's that going on in Las Vegas? Are they saying is that connected? If we're so damn happy, yeah, I think happiness. I think it's relative. I think it's just like success. If I ask everybody on here the definition of success, we're gonna have 200 definitions, but everybody knows what failure is. People try to force their beliefs over on you that you're supposed to have a certain amount of money, you're supposed to have a certain type of lifestyle. I think that's where the unhappiness comes from. Of course, he's a confidence man. He's already been exposed, like a lot of them have. It really, I didn't rejoice in that when I saw it. I was really disappointed. And that's really what it is. That's what happened. Yeah, but he didn't get it. See, you're missing the point. But he didn't get it from being this great investment guy. He got it from selling those books to you. So you get the book, you thinking you're going to be able to replicate his success. You're not going to do it. Name one person that's been able to replicate what he did. That's a successful book or system. If it's a true system, if it's a true, book, people should be able to replicate it. Shouldn't one person be the only one that succeeds from it? But it was never a system to begin with. It was a book that made him rich. Otherwise, you read it, right? Why don't you have 3 billion in real estate or whatever it is, or 3 million at that? See, that's the point I'm trying to make. Hey, thank you. Psyche awakens terror. What you got for the new year, man? He said, me and the nightmare that's been haunting me is when my buddy tried convincing me to invest in Bitcoin in 2010. Well, hell, some guy just came out here and said it wasn't available to commercially buy into 2017. Now, what story's true? Which one is true? Yeah, he said pre-buys are usually held in escrow with a legal third party. This is not offered in the Philippines. If you're not willing to lose that money, don't do it. It's a whole different ball game over here. I'm not putting it down. I want people to know it's not the same though. You're not going to sell me an 18 million peso worth of property 3 years out. It hasn't been appraised. There hasn't been anything. You're just pulling the price out of thin air. I don't have to be a great investor to see that. You're damn right. I'm scared. That kind of investment would scare me. But this house here is an investment. This didn't scare me. He said going after wants instead of needs. Big tricking on those girls. Well, I think, see what the next um I promise you the next live stream, this is what we're going to talk about, what we're supposed to have been talking about today. Come to the Philippines for you. See, I think we're missing this, BCB, because you're right. We're coming here for someone or something else, usually for someone else. So all that money, all that time, all that effort and energy, we're doing it for somebody else instead of doing it for us. That's really what I wanted to talk about today, but it don't matter. It's your live stream. We can talk about whatever, but my next live stream, I really want to talk about that because you're right. Because if you were coming over here for you, it's what I'm trying to beat into people's head. Because everything she's doing is for her. It's not for you. You wouldn't be giving away all your money. You wouldn't be going broke and all of that stuff if you were keeping your needs first. See, you can take care of somebody and treat them good and give them a new life without putting their needs ahead of yours. It's real simple, you practice self-preservation in most things you do. But when we come over here, it's like we throw it out the window. I was wrong. These women do have a power over us. Okay? Over a lot of us. Because I used to say, oh, they don't have a special power. If they have a special power, they use it on themselves. Well, they can't use that power on themselves, but they can use it on us. And it's sex. A lot of men, we're so desperate for sex. We've been without it for so long. And in our societies, sex begins with the woman. You have to get her permission. Okay, you have to get her consent. She's the one who deals it out. Sex is the drug. The woman's the drug dealer. So that's the power that they have over you. They're going to promise you that. So you're going to lose your mind and you're going to do anything for it. And this is what happens. That's a special power they have over you. But once you realize it's not a power, that thing will dry up. If you're not inside of that, I'm not trying to be angry. I'm just letting you know. It will dry up, okay? But we're in this delusion. So we come all the way over here for that, for her. And then, okay, you're going to pay a price for it. Some of us don't even make it over here. Just the promise of that gets us all wet and excited. And we start sending money. Go on to a Philippine annex and watch that guy on there. And it's not just him, but it's just thousands and thousands and thousands of men. And you don't have to give it all away like that. But we all got that same mindset. We're Mr. Nobody. And now all of a sudden this woman makes you feel like you somebody. And you can't handle it. She got control over you. You become addicted to that thing. And she don't even say, I'm not going to give it to you. Just the thought that you can't have it anymore. You start fiending like a crackhead at 12 midnight and run out of money. That's how we act over here. That's the power that these women have over us. Otherwise, they have no power. But thank y'all, man. I got to get over here. I gave y'all a New Year's special. We went for 3 hours today. Maryland keep running in and out. It's lunchtime. Thanks for all your super chats, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shows. But we're going to talk more about this come to the Philippines because I got some good stuff over here I want to share with y'all. Come to the Philippines for you. Don't come over here for her. Everything you do should be for you. Okay? And I know it's going over your head right now, but I'm going to beat it into your head. You're going to learn, man. We're going to stop going broke over here. We're going to stop putting the needs of people ahead of ours. You can take care of women over here, treat them good, give them a whole new life without putting her needs ahead of yours. Now he's on Robbie Tupo looking like a fool. Now he come over here for a woman, now he's asking a man for help. This is our mindset, guys. Okay, when all he has to do is ask help for men before. But no, we get over here and we disappear. I don't need Sunshine Shows. I don't need his community. I don't need Geo. I don't need any of them. I know more than those guys. Until something goes wrong. Then you come back to the men and ask for help. Well, we're trying to help you already. But take care, everybody. Stay safe. Happy New Year.